Some of those incredibly interesting theories out of YCS Japan. You guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Yes, that's right. This first list is a Dark World deck featuring Horus, the Black Flame Dragon, level 8. Now, when I saw this, I was like, okay, so we're committing our core normal summon to the Horus. We're going to deep draw through the deck until we get to the level up. And then we're going to put the lock on our opponent so that our opponent can't actually play the game. This is the most interactive and most fun, creative thing that I have had the chance to see out of Dark World today. You know, most of the Dark World plays are a little bit whatever, but I think that this could see a TCG adaptation out here. My friend was building this. I showed him this list this morning, and they're like, oh, I'm so excited. And they started building it on Master Duel. So, you know, ideas like this do look very, very fun. Very, very good. I mean, obviously, you know, you can do hand rip options with Silva, or you can just deny your opponent any spell cards. This is peak. All right. And I love to see stuff like this. Now, we had Horaki. This is not the only Horaki deck. Now, since this is a YCS in Japan, we do get the chance to see who's cooking up Egyptian god card shenanigans and trying this out. Now, obviously, Horaki is not legal in the TCG. I really wish that it was. But this is the auto win condition that applies once, you know, you tribute Obelisk, Ra, and Slifer to deploy this boss monster. So basically, in this build, you're using more of the heavier Egyptian side of the theme, or more of the, I would say, the Yugi anime style of deck, using those Horus cards, the God Slime. But this is 1-out-of-1 format, so your goal is to try to cheese as many wins as you can to try to make it to that top cut. Now, once again, unfortunately, this is not the better version of the two. I chose to show this one first because this is more of the feels anime version of this. Now, the version that actually did perform was this version. This is a 60 card version that actually is playing, yes, that's right, the good old Phantom of Chaos up here to remove a sphere mode so you can get Raw into the field super easy, which is really freaking funny, actually. So this build, taking full advantage of all the Egyptian gods. I do believe when I looked at this duelist record at the end of their run, they were 3-2, and they resolved Horaki 3 times, which is absolutely insane when you think about it out here. You know, Horaki having that old win condition and being a cheese style of deck, I absolutely love it. I think, I really wish that we could do things like this, or at least have fun with this, but Horaki's price point, it's never going to get reprinted again. It's literally like a $2,000+ card. Like, it's actually kind of insane to see the value that this card has going for it right now. So, a little bit of an issue there. Next up, we have Aure Queen with Altergeist. When I saw this, I had to do a double take here because I was like, we're really using the Aure Queen stuff in combination with the Altergeist stuff to build these pretty strong end boards out here, or at least, you know, have the interaction that we're kind of creating the illusion of working together out here. Now, the Chaos Aure Queen definitely is a fantastic card. We're also only playing one copy of the field spell, which is fine. I'm also pretty sure that we have interaction points with Hexty in this deck to do some cute little things, but to see this line of play showing up, granted, we don't even have all the Aure Queen stuff yet. This list is just super exciting. I am a sucker for getting the chance to see good old waifu out here doing the thing. Hey, if these lists spark some sort of innovation in you, that's really what you want to be seeing out here. Now, we also have Goblin Biker, Meteor Actor, Tenpai, with the one-eyed dragon. I love the fact that I've seen all of these builds out here in the Goblin department that are throwing in the most hilarious engines that you can. Now, you also do see 3 copies of Dear Old Slash Draw down here. Now, I'm not exactly the greatest fan of this card. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to do the Slash Draw shenanigans that this deck is trying to do. But you have so many rank 3 packages going on in this deck. I think that this is really, really cool. I also like the fact, you know, we're getting access to that rank 4 whole line down here, or the fire stuff to put your opponent into a bad position. Also, getting to make spheres with all of the extra gas that this deck kind of has going for it is quite interesting, but this definitely puts an interesting spin on the rank 3 idea. And I gotta tell you guys, just seeing some of this Meteor Actor stuff showing up more and more out here is definitely worth looking at. All right, what else we got back here? Ooh, we have some Weather Painter action for you. Now, Weather Painter hardly shows up anymore. Like, this deck is so far off the radar at this point. You know, it also does some pretty stupid things. Skill Drain is a very ignorant card. You do see here that we are playing some Swords of Concealing Light, which is a cute little tech choice. Being able to flip down and control your opponent's monsters does seem relatively good. Lose 1 turn in double action out here. And I see we're playing 2 copies of the Miraculous Descent. Does that actually make this deck any better? Like, I ask you as a very, very casual player, that does Miraculous Descent actually make Weather Painter just that stronger of a deck? I actually believe like the Pyrays maps and all of the other little interaction points you've got going in here. Also, let's call it what it is. I mean, I see Double Psychic and Punisher. I already know we're doing some pretty stupid stuff with that. So overall, I think this list is actually probably one of the more solid ones available to you. Next up was Ohime and Friends. Now, this is probably the most competent version of Minkanko that I have seen in so long. This deck honestly was kind of forgotten about in the chasm of time. Yubel has been the real bully out here, but this was doing damage reflection while Yubel thought it was capable of doing damage reflection. Looking at this base, I like the lava golems in here. You gotta remember this was for a 1 out of 1 event, so you know you're trying to win as many of those dice rolls as you can, and you know go second, control your opponent, and then just damage reflection them for game. That's all you are trying to do. Unfortunately, you can't really do anything else. I mean, you can, but it feels like it's not very strong at the end of this. So, once again, I like this list. This list feels very competent. You have a lot of strong abilities going for you here. And once again, I mean, it's Minkanko. A lot of people just are not prepared for this right now. And that definitely puts you into a super easy winning position. All right, next up here, we have Heroes, and this is kind of interesting. I see we have more of a base for the evil hero side of the equation here than anything else. We also have the built-in Dark Fusion in here. In terms of the Dark Heroes, you've got all 4 of them in here. You're doing 1 of each, which, I mean, the Dark Neos is the strongest one of them. I'm not going to lie to you. That card is very ignorant when it gets a chance to do its thing. We're also playing the trap card that goes with it, but it's actually kind of cool to see that the new evil hero stuff actually tried to give this deck a little bit more of a game plan. I also see that we're also only playing 2 copies of Fusion Destiny. I really don't know how I feel about that. I see we are also playing the Super Poly Searcher in here, which is really, really funny if we can get to the amount of stuff needed for that. But overall, looking at this list, I think this is a cool change. This gives you one of those chances to see, hey, we can do some other interesting things out here in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ooh, we have Galaxy for you. Now, when I saw this feels right. This is the kind of stuff I love to see. So, you know, we're playing 1 Galaxy Dragon with 1 Afterglow, but we still are doing the Horus package in here. You still are rank 8 turbo. There's nothing that's going to change that, all right? You're going to be stepping through all of the large bodies down here. You do have, we're not even doing number 100 OTK. What? I don't agree with that at all, actually. I see we are doing the Gooblion stuff, but I figured you would want to do number 100 shenanigans to try to clear out the game, but no, this deck doesn't look like it was trying to do that. Overall, looking at this list, I think this is a very fun deck if you want to just casually try some Galaxy Photon shenanigans, or you're sitting here, you're like, ooh, you know, I want to test out the waters with something a little bit different. I think that this checks all of those marks to be that slightly more creative deck for you to explore with. And our last list is an Ashen Rizal list. When I first saw this, I had to do a double take. I was like, Rizal literally goes in anything right now, man. I'm telling you, you can splash. You're splashing in Ashen cards now to super poly up large fields during the opponent's turn when they make an attempt to actually try to play the game, which is kind of beyond absurd to me that you're able to do these sorts of things. But that's just kind of the power that you're getting with these cluster pile engines that is just working out. that's Yu-Gi-Oh! So those are all the interesting things I've seen out of YCSJ so far. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.